This video is brought to you by DICE, the global entertainment content marketplace. In today's video, we will discuss a selection of the top 10 best film releases in 2021. Disclaimer, we claim no association, either direct or indirect, with any of the films. None of the selected titles are available or distributed via DICE. However, DICE does offer a similar genre of titles that will be showcased throughout the video. If you're a buyer looking to acquire content, or a seller looking to get your content out to a global audience, please get in touch with us via our website, connect.digital, or email us at dicesales@connectdigital.com. Without further ado, let's check out the selections. At number 10, Coda. This film was a real surprise this year. It's a family film portraying a heartfelt story about the only hearing member of a deaf family trying to help them to keep their fishing business, while also trying to pursue her passion for becoming a singer. While the romance aspect of the film did seem quite forced, unnecessary and cliched at times, as it really didn't add anything, overall the film does power through these scenes and triumph as a great film for the family. Number 9, The Courier. While it starts off quite slow, once the film gets going it really tells a fascinating true story about a British businessman, played by Benedict Cumberbatch, who gets unintentionally caught up in the conflicts of the Cold War, befriending a Soviet officer and hoping to prevent a nuclear war. Cumberbatch gives an excellent performance that really resonates with the audience, as he gives a great depiction of what you can imagine a normal person would be like in this extraordinary scenario. This true story is really a great espionage thriller, even while it is slightly slow at parts. At number 8, Another Round. Mads Mikkelsen and director Thomas Vinterberg team up again to create this incredible film. A rather interesting concept about 4 high school teachers who consume alcohol on a daily basis to see how it would affect their social and professional lives. This film was executed perfectly. It does an exceptional job of exploring issues around alcoholism, with it at times being hilarious and at other times being extremely sad and upsetting. It's no wonder this film won Best Foreign Film Oscar. It's really a compelling and relatable watch that takes you on an emotional roller coaster you're bound to enjoy. At 7, Nobody. This is easily the best action film released this year. While the story is at its heart completely ridiculous, it doesn't stop it being extremely entertaining. It's a lot like John Wick in its action, story and style, which is probably somewhat due to it having the same writer, so if you're a fan of that film, you're guaranteed to like this one. About a man who seeks revenge on 2 people who attempt to rob his house when he ends up in more trouble than he anticipated. It's really an absolute blast and definitely worth a watch from anyone looking for an easy, light-hearted, action-thrilled ride. At number 6, Dune. Arguably one of the biggest releases this year. This film was huge at box office, grossing over $350 million and overall, a solid sci-fi watch. Denis Villeneuve crafts a real visual masterpiece with this film, with flawless effects and cinematography that really captivates you throughout. This film, however, was far from perfect, which is why it isn't further up the list. While the plot was decently paced for the first half of the film, it was a huge problem in the latter. But other than the slow end to the film, there was solid acting performances from the cast all round, and has left me very much looking forward to Dune 2. This is a great watch for fans of fantasy or sci-fi, or just someone looking to be wowed by some incredible special effects. Number 5, Last Night in Soho. Edgar Wright excellently crafts this psychological horror thriller with incredible cinematics and an aesthetic that really transports you into the 60s. The story follows Eloise, a London uni student, as she is seemingly able to enter the 60s in her dreams, but slowly everything around her seems to crack and splinter into something far darker. This film really gives you a modern day Hitchcock feel, as Edgar Wright pulls off a spectacular directing horror debut, and actors like Matt Smith and Anya Taylor-Joy give great performances. At 4, Judas, the Black Messiah. Following the true story of what happened in 1968, when a man is offered a plea deal by the FBI to infiltrate the Illinois Black Panther Party. This is definitely the best civil rights movement based film released in a long time. It feels like it was a good representation of events that stayed true to the story. The acting is superb all around the board, with great performances from Daniel Kaluuya and Lakeith Stanfield. If you're interested in the history of the civil rights movement, or just simply want to be sucked into an intense undercover informant police drama, then this film is definitely for you. At number 3, Quo Vadis, Ida. This film is not an easy watch. Taking place during the Srebrenica massacre, the main character, Ida, who works for the UN, strives to save her family from the invading Serbian forces. It's really a heart-wrenching story that you just can't turn away from once you start watching. The acting from all the characters in the film was exceptional, making it truly a must-see film for 2021. Number 2, The Rescue. This film details the events that occurred in 2018 as 12 Thai boys and their football coach found themselves trapped deep inside a flooded cave. Even if you already know the story from the news when it happened, it's still worth a watch. National Geographic really did an amazing job with this utterly fantastic and at times deeply moving documentary, with stunning recreation and intriguing interviews. This is a must-see for anyone wanting both a heartfelt and thrilling documentary. No Sudden Move. This was a good gangster story that twists and turns. The only reason it wasn't included was it was way too confusing at times, and often loses the viewer in its complexity. The Green Knight. This is a great film for those who love fantasy. It was just a bit too long and drawn out, which is why it didn't make it on the list. The Mitchells vs. the Machines. A great animated family film that I can definitely recommend for the kids. The Guilty. A great riveting true story, but sadly not quite doing the Danish original justice. I recommend you just watch the original, but if you don't want to sit through the subtitles, it's still a solid watch. At number 1, The Father. This film, written and directed by Florian Zeller, is simply a masterpiece. It tackles such a complex and saddening issue perfectly. Anthony Hopkins does a phenomenal job portraying an old man suffering with dementia as he battles through his changing circumstances, his relationships with his loved ones, and even the fabric of his reality. Everything from the acting, the cinematography, and the mise-en-scene is truly amazing in this film. Just be warned, it is not an easy watch and will leave you thinking about it long after you leave the cinema. What do you think of these top picks? Let us know in the comments below. If you saw any content on DICE that interests you, or you want to sell your content to a global audience, then let us know by getting in contact with us via our website, connect.digital, or our email address, dicesales@connectdigital.com. Be sure to subscribe for more videos like this one. Have a great day.